The following is a presentation of MRE UNO Division 2. Hello everyone and welcome back to MRE UNO's Jazz July here on the YouTube channel, bringing to you live on our stream game here, this one coming from the Piano region, and we're going to be bringing on stream our defending tournament winner, the person who was able to go the distance and win Medieval Mayhem. Number 1 seed Dxno, looking to make it 2 in a row and get the job done. We'll look to be the third straight season we have someone go back-to-back in tournaments, following in the steps of Tapir and Michal in the prior seasons. So this will be the start of the run here. We'll see if Dxno can do that, but Dxno will be taking on Real Steven, who got their first career win in the play-in round over Rana in a very close 4-3 match. So that one went down to the wire, but Real Steven able to get the job done and looking to match the other Steven in getting the win here, as the other Steven was able to win the round 64 match against Lavina, who was also a tournament winner. So maybe we could see some parallels on this one. We'll see. But Real Steven looking for the 16/1. Dxno looking to not have that happen and move on to the Triad 32. So we'll see who ends up coming out on the better side of things. But let's get to the bracket here. Coming into this one, most of the Piano region has been done. We still have 3 matches to go, including this one. But in terms of the rest of the results, all our play-ins are finished, of course, and they all actually won 7, which is interesting. So very competitive play-ins. Real Steven, as mentioned before, getting the win over Rana. Mazwai getting the win over MPC, and then Alessandro in the small upset getting the win over Nifty there. So all 3 of those move into the Swing 64. But for the rest of the results, Mark is able to win another 4. There's been a lot of 4-3s in this region, to say the least. But Marcus the 4-3 win over Nova, and what ends up very likely being a playoff game. So for Nova, not really looking good in terms of being in the playoffs, since they were in the first 5 out coming into this tournament alongside Marcus. So a big win for Marcus, heartbreak for Nova. Then Apollo got the win over Clean Green in the upset 4-3. Gets the job done there to move on. Dia with the upset 4-3 as well for Odin, who is joins the list of players who are going to have to anxiously wait for the reveal show to see where they stand. And then Mazwar 4-0 over TK in a bit of a shocker. I mean, Mazwar kind of ran away with that one. TK did not really have any answers, and that was not the result he needed to have in this tournament. So it's looking very dire for TK. And then lastly, as I also mentioned before, Steven with the upset win over Lavina 4-2. Lavina really was struggling hard on the cards in game 6 of that one, but nearly was able to bring it back with Steven. A little too much to overcome there. Steven moves on to the Triad 32. We'll see what he can do. But for the remaining matches, this region is gonna end tomorrow. 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. are the matches alongside today. Ninja Jacks versus Leah, that should be a good one. Both players are kind of outside the playoff picture, so a win there could kind of help push them in. And then Sky Alessandro looking for the upset. Sky looking to try and push themselves into the D2 championship. So gonna be a lot of playoff talk coming up with these next 2 matches. And then Dxno, of course, looking to try and best their seeding, and with the other 2 tournament winners going out, as along with Dilemma and a Shocker going out, the floor is wide open for Dxno to maybe swoop in and possibly take the top seed going into the D2 championship, but gonna need to go on a bit of a run here, and that's going to start with getting a win over Real Steven, which Real Steven will be looking to deny Dxno the victory. So we'll see how this all shapes up, but we're going to go to the table. I enjoy my co-commentator for today's match, Nifty. Nifty, welcome to the booth.
Hey.
Dxno, Dxno with a incredible run in Medieval Mayhem, but we are now in Jazz July, and the slate resets. They go up against Real Steven, which is going to be a new opponent for Dxno, but Just kind of from your perspective, your thoughts with how kind of the title defense mode might
Yeah.
go for Dino here, because I mean it's definitely going to be a different environment here with Dino coming in as the #1 overall and definitely going to have the biggest target pain on their back.
Yeah, I think playing on the defense like this, especially having the precedent, as you said, of both of the previous tournament winners already going out in this first round, it sets a huge weight on Dino's shoulders for this match here. Obviously, postseason already secured, so there's no worries there. But to try and like get that top seeding to guarantee the promotion into the next division, that a lot is on stake still with every match here, and of course, um, everyone who is seated just below Dino is also hoping for the last tournament winner to fall, so that there's a bunch of more open spots to rise up and claim for the D2 championship. Um, Steven, of course, has to make a huge run to have any shot of even getting to the LCQ here. But um, I'd say that taking down a huge, the last tournament winner, uh, and the last one standing would be a huge upset and a big statement for Steven walking forwards into the Triad 32. Um, I mean, this whole season, it feels like the theme has been which of the high seeds are really worth the seeding that they got, because we've had so many upsets throughout the last few tournaments. Um, and I think that this is just going to be another one of those highlight battles just coming in towards the end here. T4 last regular season tournament. There is a lot more at stake here with every single match.
All right, well, we'll get some comments from the both players here going into this one, but yeah, there's going to be some high stakes for both here. For real, Steven, I mean, with where he's at coming in, it's win or go home. But I mean, a really great run here could maybe sneak his way into the playoffs. But I'm gonna need to go on a deep run. But could start here. Dino looking to try and be the second player to get to 10 wins on this season. So. Dino, starting with you, you go into this one as the defending tournament winner, and by virtue on a bit of a winning streak here, playing against Real Steven, who is definitely proven to be a challenge by taking out Rana in the play-in. Just kind of thoughts coming into this one, as this will be your first matchup since you were able to win Medieval Mayhem. All right, Dino will type it out, so we shall see what Dino has to say.
Dino was one of the rookies back in February Flurry too, right?
Yeah, every single tournament this season has been won by someone who is making their debut
Yeah,
season.
which I think is also incredibly interesting. All the rookies are really coming to show here.
It's interesting unless you're a player who's not a rookie. Then it's like, man,
Well, yeah,
I like a
like
tournament win
me.
myself. Like,
uh,
yeah, um, but yeah, we'll see if
I'm
that
okay with.
keeps true.
Oh, we got a response here.
I don't see myself as a big scary contender tournament winner, and I think that takes a lot of pressure off. But I'm still going for that one seed, and with the top four going 0-3 so far, makes this win almost guaranteed in our promotion. So I need this going to fight for it. All right. So yeah, I mean, again, with a lot of the top players going out early on, it's going to definitely shake up the standings here. And I mean, if you a lot of these players who are higher up in the rankings, the further they can go, that's going to be more of an advantage for them to be able to kind of pass some of those people. But um, yeah, are you not in the watch party? I might need to refresh it. Oh, you are in the watch party. I don't. Okay, I don't know what syntax was talking about there. But uh, anyways, going to Real Steven. Real Steven, you come off your first career win over Rana. That was a very interesting match for you, to say the least. But you go up against Dino now. Just kind of any thoughts coming into this matchup, and any takeaways you had from the plan that you might be looking to apply here as you try to get the upset win.
Real Steven also looking to type out an answer here.
Mm-hmm. Gonna have both players typing out their responses, which is all good.
How many of the matches this round have been 4-3? I know you said most of this stage has been.
I mean, I don't know if I could have an exact count here because we've had
That's all right.
we've played 31 so far, so uh
Hmm.
yeah, so I would have to check there. I mean, we did have two more added to the list there because we had Tim Jordy very early this morning, and then Marble and Boyles earlier today. Marble actually get surviving that one, getting the win, and then Tim also surviving. So that's two tire seeds end up getting the victories in those respective matches. But yeah, we've had a bit of a streak of we've had 2 game streak today of game sevens. So we'll see if that makes this won't make it 3 in a row, or if we'll get a little break in the action. But yeah, we do got a
We got a
response here
response from
from.
yeah, Real Steven. Does
I
not see
also.
Dino as a big scary contender and hoping that he should take this one down and advance one step at a time.
All right, and May is saying this is Curacao versus Curacao, but what May does not realize is Curacao is the best team in the world. So, um, it's that's not really a David v David. So yeah, should have made it out of the groups. FIFA rigging the tournament allowed them to not make it. So that's also why Balogun is suspended. So after this game, we're all gonna do a walkout in support of Flo Balogun. But anyways, enough of that. Gonna move into the game here. Syntax will be the ref for this one. We will start with a game 1 call for Dino. We'll see what they start with.
The all important game 1 call. Setting the tone for the rest of the series on a 12.
And so, I mean, that's been a kind of a mainstay for Dino. Dino liking the 12 to start. On that one. So it's a kind of a higher tier start to kick things off, but gonna open with a green reverse. And I mean, also Dino did make a good point right before we began. Dino had a lot of game sevens or game nines in the last tournament. So when it comes to these late game experiences, Dino is at least well prepared. But
Mm.
it's definitely going to be interesting if we go deep in this one because Real Steven is also coming off a game 7 victory.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot more pressure on Dino's shoulders here. I mean, it's one thing when you're already making a huge run to the end. It's another when you're trying to defend that run. So if we go to another game 7, I'm kind of curious to see what Dino's play is going to be like at that point. But for now, we're just starting out relatively calm. Dino has an early lead off of a double play at the start there, and swapped over to blue as well. Now to yellow. Oh,
Oh, all
never
right.
mind. Real Steven really wants this blue.
Yeah, gonna indirectly cross over into that blue again, and Steino says no, we're gonna go with yellow. Double wilds there. And
And that's a draw.
Real Steven gonna lose that exchange there. Yeah,
Nice
not
play. Having multiple ways to switch into the color, forcing Steven's hand.
it's not quite what Real Steven wanted to see there. But this is gonna open up the floor for Dino. Let's just kind of run this down. Real Steven probably looking for some sort of switch here as soon as he can.
Pretty wide card gap at this point, but all it takes is a well-timed +2 to try and change that momentum as Real Steven forces it back to blue. But then we got another crossover. Number efficiency on the sevens.
Yeah, I think for Real Steven, they're liking the blue there, and was thinking would be able to force the draw out of Dino, but Dino has that crossover into the red there. So Dino continuing to run it down here. Real Steven looking to try and play some defense. And there you go. Throw some
There's
defense
that
thrown
run.
there. Yeah, 4 card run throws a +2 on the top of it. So I believe that's actually gonna make it close to tied. And yeah, 5-6 now. So Dino's still holding on to the lead slightly, but slightly scrambled hand with a +2.
Probably not what Dino wanted to see, but I'm also curious if there was any solid finish plan from there either. So we'll see how this keeps running on red as Dino draws on green now. I didn't even notice the color change.
Yeah, not what Dino wanted to see there. Real Steven able to run the green. Dino still out. Not Real Steven looking to run it down to the finish. And I mean, this is kind of a flip in the game here because we saw before Real Steven struggling on that yellow, and now roles reversing a little bit. Dino now struggling on the green. Real Steven able to run it down here. So, oh, +4 from Dino
Not
gonna
hopeless.
negate that.
Not hopeless. And the gap wasn't as wide as it was between Stevo and Dino earlier. Dino now has a bit more of a lead, but with that +4, anything could have gone into real Steven's hands. So a bit of a risky play. I definitely think that was part of the finishing plan earlier.
Yeah, maybe want to hold on to it a little bit longer. And ooh, okay, so we got +4s being
Oh,
exchanged there. We go in the blue.
real Steven's been fighting to get on this blue and stay there. I'm really curious if this will be the moment that it actually stays and if real Steven can find some sort of plan here. Dino does keep it on blue 3.
All right, Real Steven able to run the blue, so back down to 3. Dino goes in the red though.
Oh, every time there's a little bit of momentum and then a draw.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like that was coming there because I mean, Real Steven played that skip and then used the +4 to get out of red into blue. So, no more
Just
reds
not
left.
as much
Dino,
ammo left.
yeah,
Yeah.
Dino gonna look to run this one down. Dino,
Hmm.
asking what numbers Real Steven could have. Gonna go with the 7, which I actually think is, um, I think it's that's the right number to play down because we've seen a lot of 7s so far in this game.
Yeah, looking at the history here, there's been a 7 at least every
Oh,
color so far, but there was one more on both green and yellow and blue.
yeah, that one's I mean, listen, you're playing the odds on that one, and that time it did not work out. So, I see the move
Unfortunate.
there, but I think there was only 3. Yeah, there was only 3 left, and Real Steven had one of them.
Steven pushing yellow,
Oop,
but
back
not
in the
for
red,
long. Dino's just been on top of these color swaps.
running it down still.
Back into that momentum on red.
Do we get another color switch here? No, nothing from
Not
Real
yet.
Steven. Ooh, well, now we do. Green's 5 from Dino. Dino looking to run down the 2.
Getting close. Does Steven have anything to retaliate here on green or otherwise? Real Steven bringing it back to red. Might have been a top deck.
Might throw off Dino here, unless they got something else. Yeah, and
And that's the draw.
that's gonna force the draw. And I mean, for Real Steven, that might be double draw here. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Steven was taking a bit to think on that one. I'm sure he knew what he was getting into with that play, but figured it was the best bet. As now they're just relying on top decks here, red 9, red 2. Might be seeing more draws from each of them unless there's number efficiency. Not this time. And we're going for a short detour through Draw City. Both players resetting their hands a bit, trying to find the card that can change the momentum as Steven plays a Ditto.
Yep.
That's
Oop,
a
we
red
got a little.
reverse. Opening the door for a chain on Dino's end, but it would switch the color over to something else if taken.
All right, and that is
And
going to
he
work.
takes it.
So that's going to open it in the green. But I mean, both players are still very low on the cards here. So um, this really could, anything could happen here. As we actually are on the green, which is what Dino was wanting originally before that crossover back in the red. So
Real Steven forced a draw on that green.
yeah, we'll
And now we
see
get
if
blue sigs.
Real Steven's gonna be second guessing the biting on the reverse there. Since Dino was able to get this rolling here, it goes into blue.
So much of the game Dino was spending trying to get away from blue. Real Steven is now being handed blue by Dino. But at this point in the game, is there really a finishing plan on blue?
Oh,
Yes. We're close at least. There's a Uno,
well,
maybe.
no, well, not quite.
Wait.
No, he's down to two.
Okay. We got Dos. We got Dos in the house. Dos and Tres, no Uno.
uh, the world's greatest mystery. But now both are down to two. Real Steven looking for Uno, gets it there.
The true call.
What does
Now, what's
Dino
the
do?
last card that he's been hanging on to?
And will he get the chance to play it here? Dino is also down to two. And it's gonna go up to three. Does not have anything. Does Real Steven have the win? Yes, on the
The
wild.
Wild was hanging on to the one card left. Didn't matter what color it was at that point. Real Steven taking home game one after a back and forth 10-minute match.
Yeah, it was a good opener there. Steven able to get the job done. Yeah, I mean Steven, you ultimately do walk away with the win here. Didn't start off too great at points because I mean you started a little bit behind, then you took the lead, then fell back a little bit. It was kind of a back and forth there, but you're ultimately able to find that run on blue to the end there. It ends up being where biting on the reverse does not cost you, and it ends up actually helping you get down to that finish you needed, and you're able to get the win. Just kind of any thoughts there on how that played out and going into game two with the 1-0 lead. And Real Steven also saying he does not even know when he got the wild, so there is a chance he drew on the green without knowing he had the wild. So it's kind of funny.
Well, I mean, he managed to save it for when he needed it at least, after using up a bunch of the other ammo earlier, so
Yeah.
a lot of back and forth exchanges there.
I don't know if Real Steven's gonna respond, but 'cause I asked him before and I don't see anything. But I mean, just kind of thoughts on game one with the back and forth there. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I know, I'm a very distracting figure in here. Woof woof.
Let's see what Real Steven says, and then we'll jump into game two here. Stan will be looking to rebound on. A lot of fun. One of the longest matches I played in MRE, probably playing the red 5 that forced a couple of draws. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the pivotal moment there because I think if Real Steven didn't have that, Dino might have been able to run away with that, but in the end you kind of force a draw city, and then it ends up working out better for Real Steven. It gets the switch onto the green when he needs it, and then is able to run blue to the end. So it actually ends up working out really well for Real Steven. I feel like that was the winning move in that game there. but didn't have any. Okay. So then it might have been a scrambled hand. Yellow skip blue. Okay, so Dino's hand was a little scrambled, but still. Draws ended up working out for Real Steve in the end there. Alright, well, go to game 2 here. Dino still with the call, looking to try and make it 1-1. Alright, well, gonna go with the full send here for game 2. Bit of an early full send, but we open up the red 8. We'll see if this full send it works out well for Dino here.
Bumping up to 15. I always like keeping it high when starting out at least. Gives a nice read to the opponent's play style with all the options that you got. Starting on a Ditto. Or no, that's a swap to. I am red-green colorblind, man. I can't. All right, Dino swapping over to green to start out. Yeah, I would have been shocked if Steven didn't have anything to play there. Keeping it cool here for now, though. Might not have an early chain yet. Plenty of potential for it, though, given how last match went for both of them.
Again, with these full sends, I mean, you're seeing this once again. It's just kind of an opening where you kind of go with the numbers, just kind of slowly run down. And I'm going to end that there with a 3-card run into red. So we are going back into
Alright.
the starting color right after Dino switched out of it to begin the game.
That is interesting. Dino's last card on green was a green 2, and now leads into the red with a red 2. So I'm curious if there was a plan to save the skips for later. But either way, we're on red now. Got the swap.
Yeah, gonna have to wonder if we see green at some point later on in this game. But for now, going back in the red, still no involvement from yellow or blue yet.
Just winding down all the numbers. And now we're getting blue. Let's see what kind of stuff this opens the door up to. Each new color that's swapped to and a big card start like this is always a bit of a Pandora's box situation. You don't know if you're going to open up a huge attack from the enemy or what. But right now, doesn't seem like there's any too crazy plays. Still winding down a lot of the numbers. It's in Dino's favor right now, but we have yet to see what's on yellow as real Steven swaps over on the yellow 9.
First of all, I'm going to yellow here, and that's going to result in a switch immediately back into blue.
Whoa! This is the... Whoa! There's that huge attack chain.
And that's
I
going to
mean,
end up
it was
being...
over no matter what, but dang.
Yeah. Wow, that's going to be a plan A win for Dino, and I mean, it was a switch that did not matter from Real Steven as Dino ties it up 1-1. I don't got a lot to say on that one. Dino just able to run that one down, and wow, Real Steven had 3+2s. He was hoping the chain and just ran out of time there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like I said earlier, Both of them were just waiting for the right color to throw out that ammo on, and it ended up lining up on Dino's side more neatly than Steven's.
Yeah. I mean, the only comments I have for Dino is just kind of immediate thoughts when you saw that starting hand there, and now it being a 1-1 game.
Real Steven was not expecting a 5-card finish. Yeah, that's always something that's interesting. Um, like the range that you have to anticipate your opponent getting the finish on. I think for most players it's like 3 or less gets real danger zone, but the danger zone can even go as high as like 7 sometimes.
Hmm. Yeah, well, game one gave me a little confidence. Good at able to if that game and kept it insanely close. All right, so yeah, well, things are gonna switch up here because Real Steven gonna have the call for game three, but we have a tied game going into this one as Real Steven will have the call. Just can't pick 12.
We've been seeing higher card starts so far, and Real
Oh,
Steven cutting that down immensely. Now we get a 5,
we go from the
and on
full
a
send to
yellow
the
reverse.
we go from the full send to a no send. That is a massive change of pace here, and with the yellow reverse opening, that is leaving a lot of room for a very quick game here, depending on the hands. Oh, and he has a yellow reverse to jump on that, so that's going to be a technically a ditto right off the bat. Yellow
And a
skip, and this is
huge.
not looking
Oh,
good for Dino here. All right, well, only 2 cards there.
leaving it
Gonna have to
open.
draw. And that's actually going to allow Dino to jump on that, and now Dino down to 3.
But Real Steven has a green. At
Nope,
this
does
point,
not.
a green might be all that either opponent has as Dino draws. Yep.
Right, no one able to line up straight away here, so draw city right away. This won't be an immediate 1-2 finish.
Draws City on the 0, as Dino said. But now moving up to 2, which opens the door for a swap into red and another one
Oh,
into blue.
crossover into the blue. Yellow 2 will be the rainbow, but we don't have a lot of cards here, so will be a
Not
bit of
impossible, but just unlikely.
Dino. Not a big fan of the red here. Double play from Real Steven to get down the 2 cards, but needs to replay the 7. There you go. This is gonna be a bit tense for both players here because no one really knows what the other has.
They've just been coasting along the finish plan
Oh,
here. Another oh wow. That's Uno. But it's on the 5-card start. Does Dino really have the last card needed to finish this?
Steven gonna roll with the blue, and
Yes, he
Dino does.
does.
All right, so Dino able to win on the no send here, so it's a full send win and a no send win, and that ends up working out for Dino there. Real Steven rolled the dice there, but does not come out on the winning side of that. Now it's gonna be 2-1. But yeah, I mean a very quick pace there as have mini draw city on the green, but ultimately able to round that out, and we end on blue.
Uh,
But
I want to ask Real Steven, what was the thought on going down to 5 like that?
yeah, I mean I think the no send's definitely a good risk to take there, and I think it's early. I don't necessarily disagree with the call there. It's just I don't think it worked out this time for Real Steven. But I mean, he still has the
I,
full
I
no send
don't
as an option. But
I don't think it's inherently a good or bad call. I mean, it didn't work out for Steven in this case, but I'm just curious what Real Steven was thinking would have come out of a 5-card start after coming out of 2 higher ones. With fewer cards, the volatility of play is higher, which I get to take advantage of going first. So Yes, because you have the leading start. That really can push things in your favor more. Unfortunately, Real Steven didn't have much to connect with after that double ammo play on yellow and just kind of slipped out of control from there.
Yeah, definitely. Dino asking where fake Steven is. Uh, fake Steven is syntax. So there you go. Everyone is fake. Technically, everyone that's not named Steven is fake Steven.
It is has been set in stone. But what hasn't been set in stone is the next card start, which is still on Steven.
Yeah, we're gonna go into game 4 here, and Real Steven gonna try to
Trying
no sin
again.
again. All right, re-rack it up.
Trying to hold on to the same strategy, rerunning it back. If you're able to, might as well try again. I mean, Dino definitely wasn't confident last time, still isn't going into this repeat.
All right, well, uh, not a crazy card to start on this time, but we do actually get a switch right off the bat in the yellow. Real Steven already typing it up. This could be a bad sign for
Okay,
Dino.
I'm expecting at least 3-card chain, and I call
Well,
it.
3-card chain, but throws +6 at Dino.
Might have a finish on red, but it is 10 cards in Dino's hand now.
We'll see what Dino does, but this is gonna be a tough read here. On what Real Steven has to finish.
I mean, switching into red like that, you would think that's the color that Real Steven prefers, but is that really the case?
We'll see. Dino gonna
The,
have to do a little thinking
yeah.
here.
The fact that there's no immediate typing, I at least think there's not a +4 in Dino's hand, but maybe there is the opportunity to swap into something else. Definitely a critical moment and worth taking the time to think over. Dino would love to extend the lead on this series to 3-1 instead of going 2-2 and pushing even closer to a potential game 7 once again.
Yeah, this is
Real Steven just in waiting on this play, and it's a green wild.
I don't hate that call because that was the switch right off the start of the game. So Dino electing that's the color, and yeah, that's gonna be the correct color there. So Dino with the right move.
Thought on it long and hard and ended up coming up with the right decision. But what is Dino's move on green from here?
We'll see.
Steven still has 2 cards. It's not like out of the woods quite yet.
I think the big thing for Dino also is that Real Steven is still in top deck territory. So I mean, gets the right call here, but I mean, Real Steven could pull something big here and
Mhm.
just kind of negate the call there with the switch to green.
Dino was wondering what numbers Steven could have had. It's pretty impossible to tell with so few cards being played and drawn already. Steven did have a green 7 here.
That
Seems
was
like that was the top deck, but
yeah. Yeah, so I think for Dino, likelihood is they play another green. It's just kind of what number gonna go with the green for. For Dino, really, it's just not playing the wrong number here, and Dino just played the
that
wrong
was
number.
it. That, oh, that's unfortunate.
All right,
4
well,
is the number of death, as they say, and in this time, it did kill Dino's little run there.
yeah,
Real
unfortunate for
Steven
Dino,
tying
but
it up.
uh,
Oh!
did not really have many
Oh,
options after that one. Um,
fair
ir-
enough.
Ironically, the one option Dino, the way Dino would have won that was flipping the placement on the green 9 and the green 4. But because I would have forced a decision from Real Steven, but yeah, unfortunate fortunes there for Dino. Real Steven able to get that win there, able to line it up in a way to get the job done. But it's 2-2 now. I mean, this is still a tight game here. I mean, we just had another exchange on no send, and Real Steven gets to win this
Yeah.
time, so no more no sends for the remainder of this series. But we go into game 5, which is going to be pretty critical because it's 2-2 right now.
Well, just bumping it up to 6.
Wow. Okay, I am a little surprised that wait,
Oh,
wait.
oh, okay, never mind. That's not the card start that Dino wanted. Dino was just hoping to go 6-0 on this type of game.
Okay. Yeah, because
13 cards there.
I was about to say I'd be a little surprised that Dino wanted to keep it that low. Um, but
The phrasing of that message definitely threw us off too, but
I'm gonna go with the
I guess
13
it's
card
lucky
start.
number 13 for Dino here.
Yep, yellow 9, and is the start yellow is gonna be what we stay on for now. And we'll both able to run it on yellow for the start here. We do kind of stay on this starting color for a while. Dino playing that yellow 0 to look to extend it, and for now it will. But no,
Yeah,
Dino is
there's a
out.
draw. Yeah. Steven with the possession arrow going into red.
Alright,
And
+2
that
for skip.
opens triple play.
Yeah.
Nothing too huge with the card start that's here and the amount of cards they got left, but it is enough to push Dino into a nice lead.
That really does minimize the draw that Dino just had, but Real Steven gonna respond with a 3-card run of his own.
Still running it down on red.
Both down to 7 cards here. Looking to try and get this game win here. This is gonna be an important game win because winner of this goes to match point.
Ooh.
Dino out on the color again.
Real Steven once again with the possession as he forces the swap on the yellow this time.
But this is where Dino was drawing before here, so this might not actually work here. This could be another draw out of Dino.
Steven had both red ones and yellow ones. That's interesting.
Well, now with the ones being played out here, it's gonna possibly open the door for Real Steven. It's just kind of run down on other numbers here, but I think Real Steven's in a good position at the moment because we've seen that draw on red and yellow from Dino, so this is gonna be a
Hmm.
spot where Dino's gonna have to regroup here. And I mean, I think Dino may have an option here with how long this is taking, but we'll see if they end up going for it or if they end up drawing.
Just weighing the value of whatever play might be in mind here versus if Steven really does have more of a run here to the finish.
All right, gonna go with the
Playing a
blue.
wild blue. New color.
Alright, so Real Steven able to play the blue for now, but we'll see if Dino's judgment here is correct with Real Steven still having at least a yellow.
Closing the gap. Double play.
Both have 5 cards.
Back to, yep.
Yeah, I mean, again, for most of the series, this has actually been pretty close on the amount of cards both players have left. There's not really been too many moments where someone's been having a massive lead here. That only really happened in game 1.
Yeah. But even then, that was a lot of back and forth between the two of them to get to the end.
Mm-hmm. We'll run green for now. Oh, there's just switched in the blue.
We're getting down to finish territory for both players, but it's just a matter of what they need to align here in order to get to that end goal to go up 3-2 over the other opponent. Real
Real
Steven has another blue.
So does Dino. Both are down to 2 cards here on the blue.
We're really close to the end. It could be a finish from either one of them. It just depends.
Does Real Steven have to win here on the double play? Yes, he does with the +4, and it's going to be blue. So, interesting because so Dino's judgment was not right there. Real Steven did not have any yellows left.
Dang.
But yeah, Real Steven able to get it done with both players down to 2. And Real Steven won away from having another 16/1 here, and really throwing the DC Championship rankings into chaos.
Dino, you said that you were 5-0 on the 13 card start, correct? How does it feel to get your first loss on the 13 cards here?
And on that note, well, Dinos, you said you were 5-0 in these games.
5-0, and what did you mean by these type of games?
Oh, game 6 or later.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
So Dino's used to this kind of situation, of course, but going into game 6, down 1 over the opponent,
Yeah.
pressure is definitely starting to get on.
Yeah. I'm also curious for Dino what the last 2 cards were. So get some insight on that. That'd be good. But going to Real Steven, I mean, Real Steven's 3-2, green 4, blue 4, so it had some number efficiency on that one there. But it was going to be a little tough to win there.
Yeah, power play is definitely what I was seeing there too. But with Steven, real Steven would have called Uno if he had another blue in general, and that would have ruined that play too. So I don't
The humble marble. Yeah.
know.
Scars has pretended that Marvel actually lost earlier today. But
Don't disrespect Marvel. Dude's a good player. Beat me on stream.
all right. Yeah, Real Steven, you're up 3-2, 1 away from the win. Just kind of any thoughts here on this has been going so far, and with the call for Game 6, you're in a decent position here to maybe get this done. But just kind of any thoughts going into this one and how you're feeling. Yeah, we'll see what Real Steven says, and then go to Game 6. Dino looking to force Game 7 for the 1500th time this season. Both him and Gabriel are very prolific on going to Game 7. Feels good. All my spots have been going good to see the power play, so I have that advantage going to Game 6. So yeah, I mean, both power plays still
Yeah.
on the table here. So I mean, for Real Steven, maybe looking to line it up for a win. Dino doing what he can to try to force Game 7. Whether that could be using the power play here or holding on to it later, we'll see. But Game 6 call
The
goes to Real Steven.
to real Steven, which given Steven's philosophy on the earlier 5 card starts, yep, I'm not surprised to see the 6 trying to keep it low and keep it in his control.
Or out of his
As we
control. And again,
start
oh,
on the +4.
well, that is going to shake things up a bit here. We'll see what Real Steven does. Uh, it's basically both players draw on the first turn.
Make it a 7-card start. But yes, on a
That's
wild
super
start,
fair.
you are able to play any card of any color.
Yeah.
Does not have to be cultured.
Yeah, I mean technically not enforced, but all that real Steven will get was just frowns from some people. All
Listen,
right.
if it gets real Steven the win, I'm not going to be frowning at him. Goes on to blue 6.
All right.
The mob has started storming the stage as real Steven plays a blue 7.
Oh no. With all that fire, it's gonna make that blue turn red.
Whoa! This might be kicking back against Steven as Dino is now running over to red.
I don't have the 2 cards here also, so maybe in a good spot here. I mean, assuming the color does not switch, we'll at bare minimum get the Uno next turn. Unless this is a real mess up of a play. Um yeah, real Steven has played 2 blues so far, so it's kind of tough to read what he has here. Yes, it is your turn. Did not realize. Uh Real Steven is a bit bamboozled at the moment and nothing there, and that's gonna be a problem. Um we'll see what Dino does here. At least Uno for Dino, if not the win. But based off how long this is taking, I think this is only going to be Uno.
How lucky is Dino feeling?
Well, we will.
Questioning the power play or a normal finish. I guess we'll see. It is real close. And it's hard to tell what numbers Steven has. But then again, leaving game 7 without a power play and with real Steven with one, is that a risk that Dino's willing to take? There's a lot to weigh on this one.
We shall see, but Dino taking a minute to think. Looks pretty. It looks to be in a solid spot to take this game here, but anything can happen. So we'll see. All
Looks
right.
like Dino's come up with a decision. Nor not. I mean, there is a lot to weigh here. Like, if it's the wrong move, it really can just end here. Dino risking it, calling the Uno on a red 3.
All right.
Real Steven draws again.
I think it's gonna work for Dino. Yeah, all right. So Dino actually needed a switch there, and we'll get it. So was hoping that Real Steven did not draw a red, and he did not. So Dino able to get it done. Didn't have to use power play there as well, and we are gonna go to Game 7 with both players having power play in their back pocket. So yeah, I mean Dino. I'm assuming the decision there was whether to use power play or not, but kind of thoughts going into Game 7 for like the 5th time in the last 7 matches.
Been here way too much, but we're here again. Prophecy foretold.
All right, Real Steven, you're in another game 7 here. You do have experiences from this in the prior round as well as the prior tournament. I think every single match you've played has been game 7. You're 1-1 in this game. So, just kind of any final thoughts going into this one, winner take all. Yeah, because Real Steven was went to 7 against Jackson, their debut, and then went to 7 against Rana, and now they're going to get 7 against Dino.
Man.
Oh wait, no, Jackson
And they're
played top
both
net.
gone.
I'm lying. It was top net. Top net played Jackson the 7.
Nothing special. Real Steven says, I play every game to win, so this is no different than the first 6 with the exception of the power play. Both opponents were hanging on to that for the whole time. I there's no way that it doesn't come in for a finishing plan here, so I think they both have to be especially careful of when either of them gets close to the finish, even as far out as like 5 or 6 cards. That could be enough for a power play finish, depending on what the card start is here on Dino's call.
All right. Nothing special. Play everything to win. No except for the first 6, with the exception of the power play. All right. So this is it. Game 7 call. Gonna go with mid tier here. So we go with 11. So one down from the first call that Dino made at the start. And it's gonna be a red skip to start this final game out.
Starting on the ammo with this many cards to start out, definitely interesting. We'll see if Dino keeps it on the red or if something's going to happen here. Dino really taking some time to look through the cards and plan out a strategy, it seems. A lot on the line with this game 7. A
Mm-hmm.
lot to think about with how to play the cards and go about things.
Yeah, and I mean, again, with this going long, I mean, this could be something where Dino sees something but needs to figure out a way to get there, or it's just kind of disbelief in what they're working with, whether it be good or bad. It could be either or. Steven
Steven
winning in
winning in
73 cards.
73.
Green
Okay, we're
skip,
starting
green
with
6. Okay.
okay. Nothing too crazy, but still taking advantage of that red skip start.
Yeah, I think in that for that one, it was just kind of a decision for Dino what to do there. Had a few options, it seems like. So ultimately gonna go with the green skip to open that one.
Oh, and we're going over to yellow. Pretty quick swap out of green for Dino.
All right.
Real Steven keeping it relatively cool with a yellow 7 here next. Running it down on yellow now. And that's an early draw from Steven. So it looks like this might have been the right call for Dino if there's more to play, and there is, but it's another swap back to green. Dino with very early color control in this match.
Yeah, Real Steven looking to try to figure out a way to get back into this. This is kind of looking similar to how game 1 started. But Dino just has been running it down from the start. Has not had a single draw to this point.
5 cards left for Dino. At this point, I would be starting to fear a potential finish with that power play. We might not have it yet, but cards can align like this.
Yeah, I mean, this is in the numbers game so far. There's not really been any ammo. The only ammo that came out was the green skip at the start, but since then it's just been pure numbers. So I have to wonder if this is going to be a numbers run to the end or if the ammo is going to be saved up. Could be either, because I mean, with 11, there are scenarios where you can get hands where it's just kind of you're playing numbers and the ammo is all stuck in the deck. Yeah, and I mean, I guess we're kind of been discussing that because I mean, like, we haven't really discussed the stats much in this series because I mean, there hasn't really been anything too crazy because everything's been pretty even for the most part, and we haven't been seeing
Yeah,
too many on some ammo cards.
I imagine CSM is going to be pretty even for this match at the end.
Real Steven taking a minute to type, maybe looking to add to the card strength. And
Whoa!
yes, 4 card run goes in the red with the 3 skips.
I imagine that was a finishing plan for Steven with how well that was lining up across the colors, but just gotta force something here to try and keep up with Dino's control.
We're going back to where we started here. Dino did switch off this red off the start, but we'll see if Dino has something. I feel like Dino might have a red based off how long that starting decision took.
Hmm. I think you're right too, but it's just a matter of maybe what order to play those cards in. Dino's been really considering the number crossovers both for himself and his opponent throughout this whole match. So even if there isn't any ammo, there's still a lot to think on with every play. And I appreciate that Dino's putting in that strategy, especially with the stakes on this match for him. Both down to 4 cards, both with power play. It's definitely a scary situation.
Oh,
We got a
switches the
crossover to
blue.
blue. I think that's the first time we're seeing blue in this match, opening up a lot potentially for Steven. But will the risk pay off on Dino's end? And now it's real Steven that's the one taking some time to consider the next move. Both opponents really just staring each other down as the card counts just slowly dwindle away. Dino has not had any self draws in this match so far. Real Stevens had one.
I'm mentioning this
That one.
also. Sorry to cut you off, but this has been a bit of an interesting change in pace here because this has been a one game where I think there's been a lot more thinking as opposed to playing the cards. There's been a
Yeah.
lot more pauses for both just kind of taking a minute to think. Unless this is another situation where Real Steven didn't realize it was his turn again, but um,
I don't know if that's the case this time. Yeah.
okay, yeah,
He is
no,
definitely
he
aware.
is, yeah.
The stakes are known to both players at this point. Like, this is a very do or die match.
Yeah, I mean, for both, there's definitely options on the table here. Just who's gonna make the right moves to win this game and move on.
Okay.
All right, so Real Steven's gonna
Using the
power
power
play,
play.
but I think based off what he's saying, this is not going to be for a finish. Blue 4
Okay.
and
And
switch into
swapping to
red.
red.
Okay, so that's gonna throw an extra card to Dino here. And we do get a switch back into the red. Dino up to 4 cards again.
I mean, if you're not certain about it, if you think that your opponent could be getting a power play finish off before you might as well use it to try and push things in your own control.
But here's the thing with that also, because Dino cannot power play this turn now due to no
Yeah.
back-to-back. So they're going to have to wait another turn before Dino can elect the power play themselves. But oh, and switches back into
Swapping
blue.
back.
That
No.
may not have worked out in the way Real Steven wanted. We'll see, unless we got triple 4, unless we got another 4 in the equation. No, we go back into
Oh,
blue. Okay.
he had another one.
Hold on a second. Gets
And
the
now
blue
that
for
he's
Uno.
called Uno, there's still no power play for Dino.
This has got to be
Okay.
agonizing for Dino if they had a chance to maybe power play on this turn here, but we'll have to see what the call is. Dino has 3 cards in their hand.
And the real Steven has one mystery card left. I mean, I'm really not sure what it could be at this point.
Yeah, I really think the switch back in the blue not working initially for Dino is gonna rattle them a bit here. Because we'll see. Because I mean, Real Steven could have another blue, could just be another color, and this is more of a facade. But yeah, this is gonna have to see what ends up being the play here for Dino, because they got 3 cards here with a few options. So I'm really coming down to the wire.
And like I was saying right at the start, I mean, that tension of the situation Dino's in, being the last tournament winner left in this tournament, having to go to game 7 again, now facing the potential of having it all blown away with one last card from Real Steven. This is a devastating spot for Dino, and that just weighs even more onto whatever strategic decision is coming out of this potentially final card play.
Yeah, I mean, again, Dino's just taking a while here, so I mean, they do have options, but it's just kind of what is going to be the correct decision here. It's kind of like both the benefit and the negative of having multiple options, because if you don't have multiple options, you just kind of stick with what you got. But for this one, you have multiple options. It's like you have a chance to
Yeah.
save the game, but you also have the chance to end it.
Oh, I wish that we could see their hands right now, just to break some of the tension on our end, but does it even matter?
It could. We'll see, but yeah, I mean, if Dino's deciding between what's it called? If Dino's deciding between two numbers, and like Real Steven's last card is like a wild, then it probably wouldn't matter. But
I mean, there's no way to know until the play is made. And until that moment, Dino does have to consider any possibilities. If it didn't matter in the end, then well, the game was lost earlier. But if this isn't the deciding, or well, if Steven doesn't have the finish here, it really is just
Salt's not in the VC, but
uh,
yeah, please don't do Uno log if you're a spectator. Yeah, 'cause we don't need to bombard with the X's though. But yeah, I'm just trying to look. This has been over 5 minutes for Dino here, so really taking a long time on this one.
Might just have to make a call and stick with it.
That is what it is going to have to be, because as much as we encourage thinking out your plays, we can't be here all day. Gonna go for the
Green 2.
switch. That is super risky.
Is it something on green? Is it a 2 that Steven had?
Oh,
It's a draw.
Real Steven doesn't have it. For Dino,
Does
that may have been the
Dino
right
have it?
decision. Okay, no.
No!
So that's going to be an ice, but Dino able to keep
Okay.
the game alive.
That was the most tense lead up to a draw city that I think I've ever seen on one of these streams.
Dino hoping that no top decks exist in the hand of Real Steven. Doesn't happen so far. Alright, so we do get a top deck there though with the green 5, so Dino able to get one lower.
Something else.
And
And
the blue
it swaps
5.
over to blue.
That could have been the last card, so
Might have been.
it was.
It
Okay.
was.
So I mean, for Dino.
So Dino made the good call earlier, swapping over to green, but now what's the game going to look like as we head back over to blue? With a few more draws.
I mean, for Dino, I'm wondering if one of the options was staying on blue here, so maybe has something to play here. Yeah, blue 6.
Blue 6? Real Steven is without power play now. Any finish has to come from just card rundown or some sort of lucky chain.
There's
Swaps
a
over to
switch
yellow.
into yellow. Well, they're down to 2 cards again. Dino with nothing.
Oh, that's a draw. Could put the power back into Steven's hand.
Gets the Uno
Calling
again.
Uno.
I don't know if Dino
Even
really
if-
has many options in this case. This one
Yeah.
though.
The only question is, does Steven have another yellow from the draw city to finish on? Or is this another case of having to guess what the color is going to be?
Dino saying don't fail me. Goes back in the blue.
Oh!
Is this going to be a fatal switch? No, it's going to be another potential ice if Steven had a yellow. If he didn't, then it was just draws again. So Dino able to still hold on. Dino at Uno. We'll see what Dino can do here.
Another draw. I'm predicting another draw from Dino because he had the power play, and he did not use it to try and finish there.
Yeah, so yeah, I didn't necessarily want to say anything on that, but yeah, it felt like there was not going to be a finish there unless we got the switch or something.
This game might be worse than the other ones. Dino filled with dread with every draw.
Yeah, because we have we have not seen a single wild of either variety so far in this game. So, I mean, when both players are so low on the cards, that is gonna make it a very volatile card to draw on the top deck.
Have to use
Power
it.
play. This does not look like a finish though. Yeah. All right. So both power plays
Does
gone.
control over to red. Steven with 4 cards versus Dino's 1. What's the final plan?
Yeah, we did get a switch to red though, so red 0
Red
from Real
0?
Steven. Does Dino have it? No, no finish
No.
from Dino.
Damn.
Now Real Steven running red. Dino hoping for the top deck. No!
There it is! There it is!
Oh
That
my
top deck
god.
finally coming in.
We were
It
talking
was a
about that. I mean, there hadn't been a
yeah,
single wild in that entire game, and it was just like there could be a situation where it really could
it
come
was a
down to who gets it,
bomb.
and Dino finds it.
A bomb
Wow.
waiting to go off, and Dino's the one to ignite it. Huge risks for huge rewards, as Dino is now 6-0 on games that have gone game 6 or over, winning yet another game 7 matchup and being the only tournament winner in T4 to move on to the Triad 32.
Yeah, absolute heartbreak for real Steven there. Was really doing well there, but unfortunately, Dino made the right plays there and then loses to a topic that has a heartbreaking way to go out, but what a game it was from both. Were you going to win when I played power play? Uh, but yeah, both just kind of opening up the discussion after the game, but uh, yeah, Dino with the pop all 16 seeds either beat the one seed or went to game 7. That is true because the Royals went to game 7 against Marvel. Um, But yeah, that's actually also both finalists from last tournament making it out of this round. So they kind of carry the torch for the one seeds for the time being. But yeah, I mean Dino, to you, just kind of your feelings after winning that very tense game 7 there, and moving on to the next round. You'll face Marcus there, but just kind of any thoughts on how that one shaped up? Almost was. Power play helped. Okay.
I don't know if that power play would have helped Real Steven at any other point in that match, though, because it didn't seem like Real Steven had another finish after that point. I mean, that blue 5 that Steven had to try and finish with before that was swapped out of, that really was Steven's closest win point, I think.
Yeah. Three blues, including the four and the red four. Switchback playing the other blue four almost won it. Yeah, I mean,
What an incredible match.
I was mentioning it there because, like, I mean, when Real Steven had the power play in the red four, I mean, I think that switchback, actually allowing him to get the Uno, really just kind of threw Dino for a loop because I don't think Dino was expecting that. But in the end, Dino able to just barely hang on here to get their 10th win of the season.
Wow, 10 wins in the rookie season. It's been a huge one for Dino, and it's still going.
It's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting because I mean, last season we had three people get the 10 wins. Technically four if you want to add the DQ one, but for now we won't. But all three of those were players who had played us at least a season prior. But this time we have DeLemon who was 0-3 last season, ends up now getting 10 wins in that Dino who is in their debut season. So pretty crazy stuff there.
Yeah, I don't know if there's too much left to say from this match. Obviously, we're all just coming down from the tension that was building up in that game 7, all the thought through calls and both players using their power plays not to finish but to try and defend on their way to the finish. Very interesting.
But yeah, Dino. The question was just kind of how were you feeling after that? Because that was definitely a very tense game there, and you ultimately are gonna barely hang on to get the win here. Especially with there being a few minutes where there was a lot of pauses to just kind of think through. Might be worse than the comebacks. Yeah, Dino was really thrown into the ringer for this one, but ends up living to tell the tale. Yeah. Crazy
Yeah,
game, wouldn't change anything out of play. Ball play Dino, have to eat and have an MPAD match in 9 minutes. Gonna go do that. See you next month. We'll get later next time. But or yeah, well, next season. But yeah, since we got the
still.
playoffs coming up.
Yeah, this was a huge match for Real Steven as well. I mean, almost taking out Dino in a huge clash, doubling down on the low card starts and having it actually work in his favor.
Because we're going into the playoffs after this tournament.
Yeah, there'll be postseason tournaments, so this was the last regular season tournament, unfortunately.
Yeah, but we can elaborate on that a little bit more afterwards. But going to the bracket here, Dino moving on with a 4-3 win. Nifty, just kind of any final thoughts on this series here? I mean, what a game it ends up being, and another good another good stream match. As we've had a lot of good ones for Jazz July so far.
Yeah, I think I've said a lot of what I've already needed to say coming off of this match, but huge win for Dino, um, setting huge precedent going into the postseason look rankings and all. Um, I'm hoping that Dino can continue to make another decent run out of this, but even just being the last tournament survivor standing already is huge. So we'll see how this continues. I think there's still going to be a lot riding on Dino's shoulders going into the Triad 32. Um, do we know who Dino's up against?
Dino goes up against Marcus here, so that's going to be another good match. Marcus is
Yeah,
very much going to be looking to try and get the win there. Try and I think a win for Marcus will at least secure him a spot in the LCQ, but we'll see.
yeah, a top 25 match. Yeah, almost. So, lot at stake still for the season. Every match, like I said, the stakes are higher. And this one definitely proved it. Loved being here to watch this one and commentate it live on stream. I don't have much else to say. This is a very nice one.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this one here. Thanks y'all for watching. Dino gets the victory over Real Steven in a really close, thrilling match. But until then, on behalf of my co-commentator Nifty, or Ref Syntax, both our players, and everyone who came out to watch this stream, thank you all so much for watching. We will be back at some point. We were originally supposed to have another stream match today, but unfortunately that's going to be pushed back. We'll let you know when that gets rescheduled too. It might be July 4th, but depending on the timing, that might actually not be streamed. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, keep posted on that. But until then, we'll see you for the rest of July here, whether it be the last stream Swing 64 match or starting the tree at 32. But until then, I'm G-Man. Take care, everyone, and we will see you all in the next one.